Bagaimana video games berhubungan dengan bantuan kemanusiaan? Ketika kita berbicara video games, kita mungkin menghubungkannya dengan bisnis atau hiburan. Tapi tahukah kamu, selain hiburan, video game juga dapat membantu masyarakat dengan memberikan pengetahuan tentang operasi penyaluran bantuan kemanusiaan. Dulu, kita melihat perusahaan video game besar dengan aksi amal dan kampanye kemanusiaannya. Contohnya seperti Overwatch dan World of Warcraft dari Blizzard dengan kampanye amalnya untuk membantu orang atau penanganan bencana, atau dengan kampanye untuk membantu veteran melalui permainan Call of Duty dari Activision. Banyak acara yang bertujuan untuk membantu orang atau badan amal yang dikhususkan untuk gamer seperti Extra Life, Game Done Quick, dan Child Play. Bahkan ketika membeli game, gamer juga bisa membantu orang yang membutuhkan. Seperti Humble Bundle yang memberikan sebagian labanya untuk amal dan yayasan kemanusiaan. Pembeli juga bisa memilih yayasan amal untuk mendapatkan bantuan. Pembuat game pun membantu dengan pengembangan game baru yang memiliki pesan inti untuk membantu masyarakat dan bumi. Komite Internasional Palang Merah adalah institusi kemanusiaan yang paling terkenal saat ini. Dan ICRC paham mengenai kekuatan pesan dari video game. Mereka menggunakan Fortnite untuk menyampaikan pesan dan informasi mengenai misi dan tugas ICRC. Yang dimana kita ketahui Fortnite adalah game Battle Royale dari Epic Games yang terkenal saat ini. Fortnite mempertemukan 100 pemain untuk bertarung satu sama lain. Di Fortnite hanya ada satu pemain atau tim yang akan menjadi juara. Jika kita lihat ke belakang, Fortnite dan Epic Games juga memiliki hubungan dengan acara-acara amal. Fortnite Pro AM di E3 2018 lalu adalah turnamen yang memasangkan para pemain pro dan artis, di mana pasangan yang menang dapat memilih acara amal mana yang akan mendapatkan sumbangan dari Epic Games sebesar 3 juta US dollar. Baru-baru ini Fortnite menambahkan creative mode yang dimana para gamer dapat menciptakan apapun di dalam game. Mode ini melahirkan kesempatan bagi Fortnite untuk membantu amal dan yayasan lagi. ICRC bekerja sama dengan tim Evolve, konten kreator terkenal untuk Fortnite. Mereka menciptakan mode baru bernama Live Run. Di Live Run tidak ada pertarungan, tapi pemain bisa ikut dalam 4 misi. Pemain harus menyelesaikan 4 misi penyelamatan di dunia, dan di mana misi ini menggambarkan apa yang ICRC lakukan. 4 misi tersebut adalah 1. Menggunakan papan seluncur salju untuk membawa bantuan makanan ke tujuan. Misi ini mencerminkan dukungan ICRC kepada hampir 400 rumah sakit di area yang terkena konflik dan kekerasan di dunia. Bahan makan dan obat-obatan sangat penting untuk menyelamatkan nyawa orang. Kedua, menjinakkan bom di seluruh dunia. Misi ini menggambarkan ICRC yang membantu orang-orang yang hidup di area yang terkontaminasi ranjau dan sisa bahan peledak saat perang. Ranjau adalah masalah penting dan dapat menyebabkan kematian bagi orang yang hidup di area terkontaminasi. Selain menjinakkan ranjau, ICRC juga memberikan pengetahuan dan pendidikan tentang ranjau dan resikonya. Ketiga, mencari bahan untuk mendirikan bangunan. Misi ini menggambarkan rehabilitas atau membangun infrastruktur penting yang hancur akibat perang atau bencana alam. Aksi ini merupakan misi penting dari ICRC membantu orang di seluruh dunia. ICRC membantu membangun sekolah, shelter, sistem pengairan, dan fasilitas sanitasi. Keempat, penyelamatan NPC di dalam peta. Misi ini menggambarkan operasi ke pasien dan membantu orang yang terdampak konflik dan kekerasan. Dan tidak hanya menyelamatkan nyawa, ICRC membantu dan merawat mereka agar bisa kembali hidup dengan normal. Mereka menyediakan bantuan untuk penyandang disabilitas yang kehilangan anggota tubuh saat konflik, merawat pengungsi, dan membantu mencari anggota keluarga yang hilang karena perang. ICRC juga memiliki misi-misi untuk menjalin kerjasama dengan pemerintah dan perusahaan di seluruh dunia. Hari ini kami memiliki kesempatan untuk berbicara langsung dengan anggota ICRC yang akan menjelaskan tentang misi ICRC dan bagaimana misi ini berhubungan dengan video game.
We partner with gamers and with creative agency to actually produce a creative mode for Life Prime that shows a little bit different way of interacting in the game. As we all know, Fortnite is the shootout game.
Yeah.
There is plenty of violence there. We wanted to show the other side of this violence. We wanted to show what happens where the violence stops, or what happens with the people who are affected with the violence. Of course, those specifically involved and playing with the Fortnite, but also hopefully, also beyond that, thanks to the partnership with Gaming Dose, for instance, to show basically what we are doing to spread the awareness of the humanitarian work. And we do that because very often the people think, that the gamers is the community of the kids sitting at the computers and basically like spending their entire time playing the games.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually not like this. We are talking here about a very potent, very powerful community of 2 billion people around the world. I think that people associate video games with violence because just there is a lot of violence in video games. I mean, it's very difficult not to really associate video games with violence if one of your mission is basically go around and shoot people. However, we wanted to really kind of make people reflect about two things. Whether you can shoot people according to certain set of rules. And in fact, if you take the example of the real war, we have already the sets of rules, and they are very, very old. They're called Geneva Conventions. They're called the rule of laws, and it's a set of principles that actually kind of, set the very limits of how the war is conducted. So that's the first issue that we really wanted to maybe address, not maybe directly with the Fortnite creative mode, but really through this whole marketing campaign around it. The second issue is we just wanted to basically show the gamers, make them reflect, maybe spark also the discussion of what happens to the people who are on the other side of the violence, the people who are in those buildings that you might be destroying, the people who maybe are not necessarily killed when you shoot at them, but they are wounded. We wanted to just spark this discussion about those critical questions. What should happen to these people? Should we leave them, alone and let them suffer? Or maybe they deserve some sort of medical assistance because they don't participate in the hostilities? And that is why we choose those very specific 4 missions that really represent, those core aspects of our work, providing the very essential humanitarian aid and supplies, and it's extremely difficult. So in Fortnite, for instance, you take the snowboard and you go with all those supplies down. This of course we are not really taking the snowboards, and kind of transport the supplies. But we are using, for instance, in Democratic Republic of Congo, we are using motorbikes because sometimes it's the only medium, the only kind of, way to reach the communities. In some jungle area in Colombia, we are using the boats because that's the only way to actually get to the communities because there is no road. So it really shows you basically how we reach people with those essential supplies. Part of our campaign within the Fortnite creative mode with Lifeline was to also create the possibility for the gamers to actually donate to icrc.org. So if you actually go and play the Lifeline, which of course we invite you to do, at the very end you can click, you can find the space there to actually donate, to give some money, especially for the pro gamers, to donate money to our mission. And this money usually goes to our operations in Afghanistan, in Syria, in South Sudan, in Yemen, in Myanmar, to help the most vulnerable people to really kind of deal with the consequences of conflict and war. It's better, and we really hope to engage through our social media channels, through our Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, about basically how we can improve but also, to stay connected with the ICRC for the updates about our humanitarian work. Last but not least is suggesting what can we do to actually help you to connect more with our work on the ground. And here the ball is on your court, and we are very open to feedback.
Dari video ini kita dapat melihat bahwa live run adalah awal dari pengantar misi ICRC. Jadi, kita dapat memahami segala misi dan tantangan yang dihadapi ICRC di dunia nyata.
Where we are all sitting at home. We are very busy with social distancing. We're very busy to adjusting to the normal lives. Gaming, watching Netflix, finding the new online ways to interact with the people. It seems to be the new reality in these difficult times. Keep doing it. Also check our life run mode to learn a little bit more about the other side of the violence, about what you can do, how you can help us to do the humanitarian work for the people who are not as privileged as us, who really continue to suffer every day from the consequences of violence and armed conflict in very difficult places around the world.